morning and welcome to, I feel like it's Hello Vietnam, similar to that movie where every single week we check in. Good morning, I'm Jan Jorgensen. This is the Be the Light meditation. But something has shifted, and I'm happy to say here in the early part, almost mid-June 2025, things are shifting. They are shifting. It is that little merry-go-round of life, and we are on this merry-go-round of life of our choosing now with the people that our souls contracted with to do amazing, wonderful, joyful things together, to not rescue, but reorient the world into a place that is safe and loving and benevolent forever. Earth is being regenerated through us. Now, things are really, really changing for people who've decided they want more of the same. They want clamping down. They want a little more control. They want to be with like-minded people also, people who want to be choosy about who they're with certain skin colors, okay, that they feel safe with, and how much money they need. So all of it is perfect because people are living their heart's true desires, goals, and natural consequences. Natural consequences. So there's been many steps in ideations and conversations and voting and such that is creating scenarios. We call that the 3D. Those of us that are visitors here, we've been implanted to kind of create, I think it's like baking a cake. So the certain cake is being baked and fed to the masses now. And here we are, and we finally have our bakery together to create the heavenly confections. And so this weekend, we were talking earlier, it was a big shift where I myself felt all the work that I've done, and I'm not saying suffering, but the hard work with not seeing the future, but hoping for the future, imagining the community coming together effortlessly in beautiful places and having conversations of collaboration and creating new past scenarios of joyful, all related to the next steps for the divine plan. So I experienced that viscerally, physiologically, and it was grounded, absolutely, from the GPS of the earth. Ground zero for me, for the platform, for visually seeing and experiencing it, and knowing it wasn't a one-off, because we're already having calls for connections, overnights, conversations, liaisons. My partner's been on the phone nonstop. I hear him 24/7. And so this is phenomenal. So we all have different parts to play. And I know some people listening and in the future, they think, well, oh, where's my place? It's right where you're at, because if you're listening to this, your heart is already in the new paradigm. Your heart has refaceted itself to reflect the highest light. And it doesn't mean living in one place and having a property for convening. It might be getting on your stallion or your van and taking that heart light out into different communities. Why? Because they need it and they don't have it. So your call might be to go out and to shine in different places and to travel a lot until you're directed to stay and then travel a little bit. So everyone says, well, should I be in community chopping wood, carrying water? There's no shoulds, but your soul knows where the very next place is. And here's the part, as humans, in the new age, they say, oh, if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. I think that if we go through the layers, for instance, when I realized this new platform that I have longed for, it takes goals, it takes work. And as you are doing the layers, rather than complaining and saying how horrible it is, my life is like this, you are looking at the creation, okay? It takes a while to build a house. It takes a while to unbuild a house. It takes a while to build a dream. It takes a while to unwind a dream. We live in a 3-minute society. YouTube's after 3 minutes bored, move on. These little screens that we have, we can't even finish a story or article that we find very interesting and pertinent to our lives. So as I'm saying this, the same theme is coming up. Be awake. Don't be reactive. Don't worry what the latest YouTube or whatever is saying. Be awake. Be awake so that you know what is yours. So that you naturally gravitate towards that which is either your next dive in for hard work and goal setting and creating, or just observing and letting your heart shine. So your place, it begins right this minute in connecting deeper with your inner guidance. And that's what we're going to do today. So all of these outside things, for instance, that I just experienced, the big shift into more congenial community collaborating, was a result of soul decisions and then doing layers and layers and layers of work as if it would come true, and it came true. So here we go. Knowing your bigger part and your soul contract will always put you out that funnel of the hard work confusion. Will it ever happen on the other end? No matter what, having learned something that it wasn't what you thought, or it didn't work, or tweaking it, or saying, oh my God, I am a manifester, I'm a co-creator, and I brought in with resonant people exactly what our higher selves are creating. And I am on a merry-go-round. The music is beautiful. The movement, the joy, it is very childlike. It's very childlike. Before we actually drop in and do that deeper connection, I have one more thing to say that I actually wrote in the newsletter last week. If your life is good, it's good, and you think, oh my God, I should be helping the starving children, I should go to Gaza, I should do a soup kitchen, I should help those, I should be a lifeboat, I should fix more people. Well, that's not where we're at now. It is about living your life fully, authentically happy for you, serving your path so that you're a lighthouse. And what you can do for these groups, these citizens, these people, your family, or yourself is something that a dear friend inspired for me to create. And this is it, simply taking aside a half an hour each week, a half an hour, because if you're listening to this, you know how to meditate, you know how to pray, you know how to focus that big light on something and help it. For half an hour, you're going to think of a topic that's really bugging you, okay? Who knows, maybe that now they're hurting protesters, not letting Americans protest. You can ask and intend that the energy come in to unwind, heal, or move along, or learn your lessons, or whatever it is, without attachment for your own idea, because sometimes we don't know every little articulation of the divine plan, and maybe it has to get horrible for regular, good-hearted humans who are letting it all happen to rise up and say no. But to pray on a topic and bring in that pure white light like a magnifying glass. Believe me, that is the most important thing you can do. That is using your gifts more powerfully than serving soup and doing 20 hours of volunteer work that you may or may not really want to do. It doesn't feed you in your high vibration. So I'm going to say that again. Live your life joyously, living your goals, your visions, getting to those joyous platforms where, oh my God, I am effective. I am a child of God. What I vision, I can't create. I love my life. I love this, that I have a body and can still orchestrate things in the 3D. That is so important. But other people are suffering. They are poor. There's injustices. There's starving, dying people. Pray and pray and pray and pray that their lessons, their soul lessons, the people that are voted into or take the authority to be in charge of other people's well-being, that the highest outcomes can occur. And you can sit back and say, I've done my part. Okay, so what I'm saying is you don't have to go into the war unless you want to, unless your soul says, that's, I'm a soup kitchen person in Gaza on the border right now, or Ukraine. So know thyself. The more you know yourself and you're not going off on side tracks so people say, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. Consider that their brain looking at you with just a small slice of who you're projecting, who you really are. Nobody really knows you but you, and it's your job to know you like a map, like a dictionary, like God knows you. Actually, to be so one with the Creator that your higher self dials in everything about you, that you are a little God walking around. You are God's expression of creative will on this beautiful little planet, begging for humans to be who they really are. That little prism on the chandelier, shining brightly, the Creator's jewel and joy of love's expression on earth with free will. All right, so relax your hands, relax your eyelids. They say if your eyelids are relaxed, you relax. So if you're feeling hyper excited, press your eyelids right here on your eyes and take a breath and notice that they probably were a little tense. Nice deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. So what I am seeing is a big X, okay? And the X goes through your heart. And this X is the grid of all that is. And for you to commune with your Creator, your higher self, you have to step into the apex, the middle of that X. So imagine yourself in your heart. Take your attention to your heart. And in that X marks the spot. You are residing, and it truly is the void, the 0 point, the nothingness of all possibility. And here's the big news. You have always had the choice to be or do anything. If only our mothers had taught us to rest and reside in the 0 points. So feel that your body is floating 0 point, no gravity, no weight, and no thoughts. Completely relaxed. No thoughts. Letting go. Deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. We ask and intend to set this sacred space. We recognize there is a sacred geometry around each of our biofields. It's lovingly called your axiotonal points of creation, electromagnetic points all through this geometric creation. And this is residing in the 0 point, which is like a jungle gym, just one of the connection points for a massive galactic, universally woven axiotonal jungle gym system. Everything's geometric. So feel like you have your own individual, guided by your consciousness, floating in space, and in your heart, that 0 point lines up at a juxtaposition of the big X of the galactic and universal grid. So we're just going to experience this for a moment. And notice that there's no names, there's no personality, there's no shoulds. It's all presence and potential. There's nothing needed. There's nothing to attach to. There's no story, I'm this, I'm that, or I blah, nothing. This is the point where our mind is asleep and our higher consciousness can make an intention. The intention can be a question. A beautiful question is, what is my next best step? Or, what's the end result of, show me the end of the divine plan. And that's pretty big, and maybe that's not the best thing. It could blow you out of the water, but by saying, what is the next best step for me, or what to know, you are in alignment with your personality self, which your body is available to hold light-wise and frequency, with your soul contract, so you're not too confused trying to be something that you don't have the chops and skills and wisdom and awareness and haven't brought in the right team players yet. So be profoundly happy in this moment, reflecting on all the change and all the movement you've done to be able to even imagine residing in this 0 point, but not needing to know everything, but to trust and know that your guidance system and who you are is right and good in this moment, in this 0 point, and that you are alive and well. So feel that this residing in the 0 point is your point of aliveness. It's where all energy comes from, through you. If you're tired, if you're confused, go to this 0 point. If you're exhausted or feel what's it all about, it's never happening, come to this 0 point. It's a refresh, regroup, reset. So we're just sitting here for a minute, getting comfortable with nothingness. No action. There's no movement, where all is possible. So choose wisely. We can't do everything at once. We can't say everything at once. We can't eat everything at once. No. You might have your own intention, but I'm going to suggest that we each ask. What is my next best step? What is the next best thing for me to know or see now? Imagine you're in a temple and there is a beautiful circle in that temple. And in the middle of the temple, there is an X, a beautiful white pillars. And in the middle of that, there's a beautiful crystal ball. And you are standing there. And as you look around in that temple, there are bleachers. And in the bleachers, there are dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of divine beings, much like a computer motherboard. When you ask your question, the people, the consciousnesses in the bleachers that have assembled to answer someone doing this difficult groundwork on earth, being reincarnated for the transition, they all awaken and they assist for the answer to come into this crystal ball and to be created in pristine, perfect, profound next best step. By asking and imagining this system, it is infallible because all the cosmic universe is assisting and supporting you to be successful in identifying and merging with the highest expression of your work and mission in this incarnation for this next best step for you. So I'm explaining that to tell you the gravitas of all the universal help that is involved in this process for each of us, because we have asked. So if it helps you, put your hands up, put your palms up, and your eyes are relaxed. You may be receiving images, pictures, words. We each have our own methodology. And so whatever you have received, we're going to make a conscious decision to bring that back. So we can share that when we turn off the recording and go into the community discussion, which is private for us, those attending. So take a nice deep breath of gratitude for this moment. And we very gently come back to our everyday consciousness. And we're reminded to put a beautiful golden resilient egg around our entire body. Beautiful. so that any harshness, loud noises, or the news just bounces off for the next few hours. Beautiful. Now make a note how your nervous system feels right now, because we have rewired synapses. We've let go of a lot, made room for this new, wonderful information to come in. So we are going to come to a close on our meditation today. I appreciate that people are here, and we'll see this in the future. Please subscribe. And I do very seldom personal initiations or work on Zoom, but I work with women who are well along in their spiritual path, have claimed their crown, and just need a little help straightening it in certain areas. That's the Becoming Queen coaching program. So you can find me at soundandlighthealingarts.com. Thanks for coming.